Tate McRae in person in our studio.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Does any of that...
This is Mongolian Mindset, and today we're going to be typing Tate McRae for Rochelle. She's one of our loyal members and our Discord member. Really fuck with you and Justin. We'll be using Linda Ben's interaction styles and temperament combined with cognitive functions. Okay, guys. And to be able to request a celebrity be typed, guys, you got to be level 15 in our Discord. So you want to go ahead and join that. So let's go see what the monkeys over at Personality Database has Tate McRae as. They have Tate McRae as an ENFP, okay, guys? So here, we'll go to our chart here. You go to mongolianmindset.org and go to resources, guys. We Justin just finished one of these Road to Demigod like assessments you can look at. We're going to be updating that as we go to make it more accessible, but you can check out the first guide we have there. To see where you are. It's not perfect, but we will be updating that. And shout out to Justin for fucking doing that. But ENTPs move fast, man. That's all I gotta say. But let's go to the type grid, guys. They have it as an ENFP. Okay. So ENFP, right smack dab right there with the hand. Okay. They are formative, initiating, movement, abstract, TFI and SINE. They have their global interests. I think I hit everything. And informative. I think I hit that. Initiating as well. Oh, affiliative. Okay, they're also affiliative. Okay, if she meets those metrics, we'll call her ENFP. Right, ENFPs really have diplomatic intelligence. It's about being able to build bridges amongst people. Right. If they are a good ENFP. Right, good ENFP. But if she's not, we'll figure out what her real personality type is, guys. So guys, we do have a breakdown of all of the metrics. Just go to the playlist, how to find anyone's personality type. And we do have a breakdown of all of the cognitive functions. We have a master list one that's all in one video with me and Christian, and we're hashing out examples to each cognitive function. So even if you're blind, deaf, and dumb, you will understand what the cognitive functions are. And I also did the cognitive functions one by one if you want an in-depth, thorough breakdown of that. I personally like in-depth, thorough breakdowns of things because the more I know, the more I can use, right? And it just builds off itself, right? So let's go ahead and type this woman.
Does any of that land with you? Like when you just had a long flight back from Australia, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like a 12, 20 hour flight, right?
Yeah.
Is there any point in there that it does hit you what your life is right now?
The only time that it like really registers is genuinely when I'm on stage, just because there's no other way than to be like super present and look at all the people who like are singing back your lyrics.
So she's talking about having to be present when there is a lot of people around and she has to be present. Seems like she's struggling to be present. Looking at this woman and all that I've known and all the people that I've typed, I am immediately thinking ISFP or INTJ, like almost immediately. But that's SE there, guys. That's SENI, talking about being present in the moment, right? Seize in the moment. It's SE, guys.
Yeah.
That's the only time that I feel like it really clicks. Otherwise, life feels normal, you know? It's like so weird to just think about like things going on because it's on the internet and the internet doesn't seem real half the time.
What do you mean?
It's just like I feel like your brain doesn't fully process like numbers quite, or like even fans on the internet. Or,
yeah.
Like it all seems just like a video game, like that you're like playing kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think also like
that's a TE comparison right there. TE comparison to the video games. So TE is also attached to FI, so I'm gonna go ahead and nail that one right there as well. So it's looking like just right there, it's looking like SENITEFI. So
and when this stuff happens, like it's just day after day after day after day, like nothing really changes. But every now and then you do get a bit of clarity and you get to go like, wow, geez, my life turned out interestingly, you know?
Right.
So you're from Calgary.
Yeah.
What was your life like growing up in Calgary?
So my mom was my dance teacher.
And was she a dance teacher professionally?
Yeah, she had a studio. She taught me dance since I was like 6.
Right.
I was a really competitive kid. So was my brother. There wasn't like much of an art scene in Calgary at the time. So like dancing wasn't that huge and neither was singing. So like everything I did just seemed like really like off in Calgary because it didn't really seem like it was there wasn't really much of like a creative arts yet, I feel like at the time.
There wasn't a big performing arts scene.
No.
Right.
Everything, I started a YouTube channel when I was like 13 and started posting like original songs, and it was very foreign to everyone. Like it was like, oh, what are you doing?
From who was saying, what are you doing?
I don't know, like my classmates and stuff. Like it was just a very interesting dynamic.
They thought you were a bit weird?
Of course. I mean, I was posting love songs on the internet when I was 13.
And what did your parents think of it, the whole thing?
I think I've always been just like a really creative kid.
Yeah.
They just like let me do my thing. I just went off and did my thing all the time.
I just went off and did my thing all the time. I would say that's SENI and did my own thing. I would probably say Prague or even a little bit Prague, right? All about doing our own thing, individuality, autonomy, right? Doing your own thing gives you ultimate autonomy.
So. And
they were supportive of you wanting to have this world. Like, when did you know that you wanted to be a performer?
When I was like 8, I went up to my mom and I was like, I want to be like.
I want to be knew it at 8, NI, guys, strong NI. Okay, knew it since 8. Let's keep going.
Really good dancer. I want to be like really good. Can you train me? And so I honestly just like started training at a ballet school and like would train like 8 hours a day. Got super serious into dance, super competitive. And then I went on like So You Think You Dance when I was like 12.
Yeah, can you see those headphones right there?
Yeah.
I want to play you a clip from that. Just take a listen to this. Can you pop them on just for a second?
No.
I know, I'm going to do it to you.
I wish there was a word that would describe how much you touched me.
Thank you so much.
That was perfection, and I mean that. Watching you move, it's like a ripple effect, like in a lake, and the water just ripples. There's no beginning, there's no middle, there's no end. It is seamless from start to finish. You are a gift from God.
Thank you so
are
much.
A gift from God.
Thank you.
So that's Paula Abdul. You're on your audition on So You Think You Can Dance. You're 12 years old.
Yeah.
And she calls you a gift from God.
It's so crazy when I think back then because, like when I was 12, like now that I think about a 12-year-old, I'm like doing that at 12 is crazy. Like I think about like my 12-year-old self and how like hard I was on myself for being 12 and like for training 40 hours a week. Like that's like intense. And I mean, yeah, it's like bizarre to look back. I sometimes will like go on YouTube and I'll like search up old videos and stuff from that time period. But like, yeah, like 12 years old on a national TV show and competing.
National TEFI.
And living away from home is like crazy.
What goes through your mind when you hear that now, that Paula Abdul clip?
It honestly just like, it makes me feel like I was like, oh, I wish I could have processed that in the moment. Because in the moment I was just.
I wish I could have processed that in the moment, right? I wish I could have processed that in the moment. Means she's struggling to be in the moment, guys. That's SE, guys. She's struggling to be in the moment. I wonder why. Lots of NTJs will have this thing about regret, and it's usually SE related because, you know, they're so focused on moving towards the future, right? And becoming that future version of themselves that they're not actually taking advantage of the moments that they have in front of their face, right? And what that does is that creates a lot of regret when time has moved past, right? Because you can't go back in time, right? And you will be forever in a loop of trying to find that future version of yourself. So if you're an NTJ, you really, or NJ in general, but most likely NTJs because it's got that TE, achievement, accomplishments. If I do this accomplishment, I do this achievement, then I'm going to be so great, and you're just chasing that. I've done it my fucking self. It creates a lot of missed moments in your life, right? I've had me and Christian on, and he's SE parent, right? And Christian has really no regrets about being in the moment because he owned those moments, right? As myself, I was always thinking about the next move, the next best thing, or the next thing I need to be doing, right? So even though I was there, I was never really there, right? And she's talking about the same thing.
It's like it's a competition. Like, you know, sometimes compliments don't always like stick when you're like in that kind of headspace. And I'm like, that's really special. It's very, very cool that even like happened. And she even said that.
It is really special that
Yeah, I missed that because you're so damn focused, like I said.
to be like 12 years old and on, so you think you can dance. I think you came third, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any memories from that time?
Yeah, super clear. I was like, I remember the whole process.
Like what? Tell me something about it.
Just like the filming process. I remember like so many hours of rehearsals and like the idea of like every Monday night there was like it was like a live show, right? So we would be on national television competing and getting closer
National television and competing, right?
closer and closer. So, you know, it's like we'd be rehearsing on our rooftop of our hotel, like all the contestants, like till like 2 a.m.
You see the way she talks? She's talking about like outside things. So she's an SENI user, right? SENI user. I'm gonna go ahead and knock that off. She's an SENI user, right, guys? It's clear as day, like it's clear as mud. Like she's an SE user, right? So let's go ahead and knock that off, guys. We know where we're headed here. SENI, right? And so we go to the type. There we go. So with that being said, the ESTJ is eliminated. ESFJ is eliminated. ENTP is eliminated. ENFP is eliminated. ISTJ is eliminated. ISFJ, INTP, and INFP, right, guys? Those are eliminated because she's an SENI user. Okay, got that down.
Morning, like trying to make sure our routines were perfect, and then, you know, making sure we didn't slip and fall on stage.
This woman is a fucking 3, and she's an SP3. Ill, perfectionist, okay?
The next day, like it's live, and then no matter what you say, it's all happening live, which is so crazy. Yeah, like that. I just remember it was like a very intense process for like 2.5 months.
Wasn't everyone like a lot older than you?
No, it was called Serving Units Junior.
Okay.
So there was like, it was like, I don't know, it was like 9 to 14 or something. Like it was like young. And then we had like mentors and stuff. It was full process.
Was there a feeling of like when you tell me that like when you were doing this in Calgary, there wasn't much of a scene, so you felt a bit alienated from everybody else?
Yeah.
When you go to something like that, do you feel like, oh wow, there's people out here like me?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I think anytime you put like some of the like most passionate dancers together, there's definitely that energy in a room where you're like, oh wow, there's kids like this who want the same things as me and who are just as ambitious, which is very cool.
I don't know if
ambitious. Come on, NI. Just as ambitious.
you're going to have an answer for this, but I'm stuck on it. Like,
Okay.
where does that come from when you're like 8 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old to want to be that great?
Honestly, I think there's just like that, maybe it's in the fact
I'm interested to see what she says here, right? I'm interested to see. She's a 3.
there's just like that, maybe it's in the fact of like, I've always known like creative comes from like a lack of, like whenever you feel like you're like, something's missing in your life, you want to like do more. Or if you like don't feel loved, you want to like go find love. Like you feel like there's certain things, and I feel like as a kid I was always just like doing my own thing, that I felt like because I was so like on my own all the time and just by myself, that I wanted to be the best in the room.
I wanted to be the best in the room, guys. Doing my own thing. SENI, pragmatic. We knew we would get to it. TEFI. Yes, let's go ahead and knock TEFI off there as well. I wanted to be the best in the fucking room, boy. You fucking disgusting, nasty 3. Oh, God. All of us 3 say the same thing. Oh, God, we always want to be the best. Okay, go back. Let's catch that, because that's going to be part of my short, bitches.
Maybe it's in the fact of like, I've always known like creative comes from like a lack of, like whenever you feel like you're like something's missing in your life, you want to like do more. Or if you like don't feel loved, you want to like go find love. Like you feel like there's certain things, and I feel like as a kid I was always just like doing my own thing, that I felt like because I was so like on my own all the time and just by myself, that I wanted to be the best in the room. I was just like, and that was my only way to do that. Was I was like, if I feel like this is the only thing that makes me feel like myself, then I want to be really good at it. And I was just like really competitive in that sense.
Like if you are you like.
All right, so some FI there too, guys. So we know it's TEFI, guys. So that is eliminating a lot of things down with the TEFI and the SENI. So with that being said, we got ESFP, ENTJ, INTJ, and ISFP. This woman's coming off responding, right? And it's going down to exactly what I saw. I mean, I've seen so many people, bro. I can just usually look and get them down to like fucking 2. Sometimes I can nail them off rip, but I can usually get it down to 2. But this woman's a 3, W4, SP, sexual. I'm gonna say it's sexual.
Like if you feel isolated from other people, like if you feel a bit lonely, you want to be.
Yeah, I think my brain was always just wired as like, I want to be a performer, I want to do this, and I want to be good at it. And I don't know where that came from, but
it's more like the work ethic.
So I was just born like this, NI.
Like that I'm blown away by. Like when most people, when they're 12 years old, you know, they just want to eat Doritos or something like that. You know what I mean? Like to be putting in 40-hour days or 40-hour weeks, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's what made me happy was working. It was just like it's like satisfying to like see progress happen. And I think I've just...
Oh, it's just satisfying to see progress happen. Guys, that's it. That's the nail in the coffin right there. That's what we were looking for. That's a progression hardcore statement there. That is the nail in the coffin, guys, right there. Hardcore progression, guys. That is hardcore progression, right? It's
putting in 40-hour days or 40-hour weeks, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's what made me happy was working. It was
made me happy, FI.
just like it's like satisfying to like see progress happen. And I think I've just always been like that.
Tell me how you go from dance to music.
INTJ.
Well, so after I got off singing and dance, I got back to Calgary. I'd been in LA for 3 months, and I was like, oh, like, you know, in the scene, like we'd just been filming this TV show. So I was like buzzing, and then I get home, and all of a sudden I have to go back to, what was I, grade 8 or grade 7 or something? Like I had to like go back to school, and I was like, this is boring. And so I'm like, I want to do something. So I started a YouTube channel. I'm like, oh, this will be my dance YouTube channel. I'll post like dance videos every week. And I'll choreograph and I'll try to like push myself in that way. And then like the 3rd week, my mom was filming me and like she broke the camera. Like something just like totally, something.
Hold on, what happened?
She like, something messed up in the camera. Like all the lighting was off. I was just like, I was like a perfectionist. So I was like, damn it. And I like locked.
SP, that 3, I'm a perfectionist. INTJ, we're done, ladies and gentlemen. INTJ.
Myself in my room, wrote this song in like 20 minutes on my piano that my grandpa had given me at like age 6. And I basically just like recorded it and posted it on the internet, and it went viral.
What song was that?
It was called...
Posted it, went viral at TEFI.
One Day. I called it I Wrote a Song, and it just like blew up overnight on YouTube. And all of a sudden we had like 11 record labels randomly calling us, and we flew to New York like 2 weeks later.
Had you written any songs before this?
Like in my head, like on a piece of paper, like just like random stuff. Like it wasn't anything legit at all. I didn't even know what the structure of a song was. Like I was just going off of like instinct. Like it was very like random.
So you go to bed and...
Just going off instinct. I think maybe you were going off intuition there, woman, but whatever. I mean, you can attest that to SENI. I don't care.
You go to bed and it's not doing anything. You go to bed and it's just whatever. Like you probably didn't have that many subscribers.
Yeah.
And then you wake up the next day and it's gone crazy.
Yeah.
What's that like?
I just remember my dad was like, oh my God, you're at 1 million views? Like he was just like, and I remember right before I posted the video.
That, like she remembers her dad reaction and not like how she felt about it or anything like that. That's the first thing she jumped to was some SE related data, right?
was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you writing a song? And I mean, I was just like, I don't know, I'm just doing it. And then like as it,
I don't know, I'm just doing it. No outcome in mind, guys. Progression.
we were like, just like, what's going on? Like, why is this? What's so special about this video from anything else? And I genuinely don't know what happened either.
Really?
No, I have no idea.
Something happened.
Something happened.
Or maybe something in the song meant a lot to a lot of people or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's a really good song. I mean, especially since I wrote it at 13, it's pretty good.
Is there something about music that you weren't getting through dance?
Yeah, I use dance as like a distraction a lot of the time, where I like would go there like just to like not think about things, but I like off of dance time I thought about a lot of things, and I was just like, my brain was always going, and I'd write poems and stories and whatever, and then at one point I was just like, I have so many things and so many thoughts circulating through my head that I need to write it out in some way, and I ended up putting it into a song just because I was pretty like musically inclined, like with melodies and stuff. But yeah, I was just like, I have no other way to talk about this, and I don't want to talk about it with any friends or my mom or my dad or anyone.
I mean, that's powerful, right? To like
Bonding, introvert there.
when you're
Yeah.
avoiding something through one art form, and then you are forced to confront it through another.
Totally. And that helped me a lot. Like, it was very therapeutic for me to like have two outlets where I was like, one, I could actually like get a clear perspective on things, and then another thing was just like me in my own space.
Is it overwhelming when that very personal thing you put out is seen by so many people?
100%. It's terrifying. And it was also terrifying when I would post a video and then go to school the next day and have everyone talk to me about it. Like, that's so scary. I'm like, you were ballsy for doing, I was like ballsy for doing that in high school, where it's like vicious. And I would get like picked on all the time for it. Like, but it was just like, I don't know. It was just like, it was like so fun to me. And I would post like a new original song every Friday, like not even knowing how to write a song or not even knowing whatever. And it was just, it was like, it was weird. Because yeah, it was like I was posting my diary every week kind of thing.
Picked on? I would have thought that would be like a really cool thing to do. Like, I would have thought that would be like if you're blowing up on the internet, I thought that would make you cool to your...
No.
No?
Not at all.
What?
Oh my gosh. It made me super weird. Like, people would pick on me all the time. They'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're writing this. It's not until like, I feel like recently where people have been like, oh, what you do is really cool. But not back then.
And what kept you going? I mean, that's not easy.
I didn't care. Like, I was like, okay. And it was just like cool to me. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm pleasing some people. Like, a lot of people are watching my videos, and clearly a lot of other people are relating to it. And yeah, it was just, yeah, I liked it because I was like,
Talking about the impact there.
like every week he gave me like a new kind of like challenge to write songs.
Yeah.
Challenge.
I mean, that's. It sounds like you had a lot of clarity back then, more than like most high school students would have. You know.
Yeah, I did.
That's good.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, so I want to play you a song. It's not on the record, but it's a really important one because it's the one that first sort of blew up for you on TikTok. So just pop on your headphones for a second. So this is the kind of the big first gigantic TikTok song. Just take a listen to this.
Now suddenly you're asking for it back.
And
Not to mention all over the radio and all over streaming. Can you tell me a little bit about where that song came from?
so I wrote You Broke Me First when I was 16, and it wasn't necessarily written about like one person. It was kind of written about like multiple people. But it was, I think at the time, because I'd never really gone through any like heartbreak of some sort. Like, I was really young. It was kind of written about like some friends who I just like hadn't, who had, tried to come back in my life kind of thing. It was more of just like that feeling of when people can like do you wrong and then all of a sudden come back in and you're like, where did you come from and why haven't you been here for the last 6 months?
I've had people talk to me on the show before about what it's like when a song blows up for them, and the context they usually talk to me about it in is they're walking down the street and they hear cars drive by and it's coming out of their windows.
Yeah.
Or they turn on the radio themselves and it's it's playing and it's really, really exciting.
Yeah.
But in your case, it's like something really unique to you, especially for the time at which it came out, in which that song like really dominates one social media app.
Right.
Just what's that like?
Well, I couldn't tell at first because your For You page is like you, right? So I'm like, maybe I'm just looking at my song too much. I'm just like, this song keeps coming up on my page. And then it was so confusing because they were like, this song's becoming like a global hit. And I like couldn't leave my house. Like I was stuck at home. Like the pandemic was like at its peak. So I was literally like not driving anywhere, not going to any stores, not seeing people. So I was just like getting all these like stats from like, oh, your song is popping off in Turkey, like just like random places. I'm like, okay, inside still. Then it wasn't until like I like really felt it when I finally got out of the pandemic and played my first festival, and I was like, first time like playing that song, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've never had to sing and never like I didn't have to sing any of the words. Like it was like a full sea of 20,000 people singing my song, which I was like, this is surreal. Like I didn't know that this song did this.
What is that like? Because most people would they would like play to no people and then to 20 people and then to 300 people and then to, and the pandemic sort of robbed you of that.
Uh-huh.
It just blows up while you're stuck inside your home.
Yeah.
And you are rushed into the big stages with thousands of people singing your songs like first.
Yeah.
What is that like?
It was like I didn't even know what Lollapalooza was. Like I was like, okay, we're gonna play a festival. I'd never been to a festival before. I didn't know what they were really. So we just like, I remember I'd gotten out of the pandemic, hadn't performed, and we walked up and I'm like, this is the stage I'm performing on. I like walked out and there were like, I don't know, like 15, 20,000 people. And they knew all my songs. It was just like very, very surreal to me. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like I feel like a rock star. But I think that's why it was so weird, because I just like I didn't know what had happened. And that's why it's like, it's really confusing because the pandemics don't happen every year,
Hopefully.
Hopefully not.
Were you nervous?
No, because I didn't even know what I was doing. Like I didn't even know that many people were going to show up. So there's no time to be nervous. I couldn't even process that I was about to perform that many people.
What's more important to you? Like the more traditional music industry stuff like radio or streaming or TikTok?
I think they all kind of blend in now. I mean, as long as the people like it, it'll end up reacting. I think it's, if you push it towards the industry first, it's never going to work. You got to push it to your fans first and make sure they resonate with it. Otherwise, I feel like, now the radios and the industry are following the kids. Like that's what's the wave. So
yeah, you're kind of helping to lead that wave too. Can we listen to another song? I want to talk about it in the context of that, like when you.
All right, guys, we got her down. Just wanted to see more of a story there. I'm gonna go. This one was a 3 W4 for sure. SP/SX. Okay. Intj. Right. Damn, that's pretty bad, Mercer. You got some INTJ out there crying. INTJ 3W4 SP/sexual. For overall development, I mean, she seems to be hitting the NI to FI. Seems to be pretty good with her inferior function. She is aware of it. The T parent, I didn't really see it as much. Well, I guess it seemed to be a little bit more in check. It seemed to be pretty damn good in check. Because, some of those INTJs can be super bubbly, right? And that's when that FI is like kind of overriding everything, right? Over the TE. But she seems to be kind of in check, but you could kind of see the big TE parent from like somebody like Shelly, right? FI is really never out there. Like, she's got like FI on like leashes, right? So you see like the big boy TE parent from people like Shelly, but you kind of see a little mixture there with her. She probably swings a little bit more into the FI, but TE is there. So I would say, man, based off our new rules, I would say she's average, trending above average. This woman's only 20 years old, so I would say that she is a workaholic. So I'm gonna hit her for an average, or trending towards above average. Okay, very much trending there. She's very close to ascending there. She is a beast, though. She is an absolute beast. I'm gonna hit her with creative, INTJ, right? I'm gonna hit her with creative. I haven't hit one with that in a while. So INTJs are responding. They're abstract, right? They care about the what if, right? Trying to make their impressions part of reality, right? They may have a vision or a goal that they want to bring into reality. That's what most times you'll see with SE and NI, and TE, right? They'll have like one achievement or one goal or something that they want to accomplish, and that'll be something you'll see them chase, kind of like Kobe Bryant talking about, like he's seeing himself in it as an NBA player when he was a kid, right? That vision is not part of reality, right? Most people, if you tell them some of your NI visions, they'll laugh at you. That's why a lot of NI users usually won't, like, tell people their visions, right? People just laugh at them, think they're like off the rocker, right? Because nobody does it until they do it, and then everybody's like but yeah, systematic. They have a systematic approach to things. They look at things from a structure point of view, right? They're not looking at the interest or the motive of like what people get out of a situation or what they get out of a situation. You really didn't hear any interest out of that woman there. I didn't hear her talk about what she was getting out of a situation. So they're pragmatic, so they care about autonomy. Autonomy is number one to these guys, right? I'm gonna go my own way, right? While affiliative is more about cooperation, right? Pragmatic is about a utilitarian mindset. Then you have direct, right? A lot of that was specific, concise, and to the point. I was just trying to make sure that she wasn't one of those like ISFPs who can come off kind of direct, right? So listen a little bit more, man. I want to make sure that wasn't an ISFP. And we did nail her for a very hardcore progression statement. I just love progression. That's always been about me. Always improving, right? Always getting to the next thing. When I get progress, that's what makes me happy, right? A lot of SE experiences, right? When she looks at memories, it's all about like what was going on around her, not kind of like her own perspective. And she's talked about being a dancer since 8 years old, right? That's the reason why a lot of these NI users, especially the introverted NI users, will get ahead of a lot of other people because they're chasing their dreams at such an early age, right? And everything the thing about people that people don't realize is like there's a clock on everybody's forehead that no one can see, and it goes back to the hours that they put into something. And when you are an NI user and a strong NI user, you may not be that great, but you got that no life gene, right? You'll do it 40 hours a week early on because you're so into that, right? You'll do that, right? That's the no life gene. And then TEFI, guys, she knows what she values. She knows what she resonates with. She cares about remaining true to who she is in TE. She cares about, the TE data, outside sources, how other people think about her, popularity, all of that nature there. So we got her as an INTJ, creative, 3W4, average SP, sexual. And thanks for recommending her, Rochelle. You probably recommended her because you are also a 3 INTJ. But comment below, guys, what you guys think about this one. And if you want to recommend a celebrity, you have to join the Discord, guys, and you have to get to level 15. If you want to be Type Buzz, you have to get to level 25, guys. A lot of things will be changing on the website, so look into that. We got a lot of people helping us out. We kind of want to make this big for everybody, okay? But this is Mongolian Mindset, and we are out, baby.